Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm going to be talking about concealers and correctors today, and we're going to discuss whether or not you actually need to have a color corrector in order to conceal whatever it is you're trying to conceal. Okay, so first off, let me apologize for the appearance because I have like practically no makeup on. I have like a little bit of a foundation I mixed. I'll show you. I mixed a little bit of the Atelier, which is actually an excellent brand, and then my new one, which you guys can see a review of. This one is the Fenty Beauty in 300, and this is Atelier in number 6. So I just mixed the two together because, yeah, I like mixing things. And so that's all I have on my face right now. So what I'm going to do is show you a couple of different concealers that I can put on, and whether or not you really need to have a color corrector is something that you can decide after you see. So the first one I'm going to do is this one, which is Tarte Cosmetics. See if I can get this to show. There you go. So that's Tarte Cosmetics. Oh. And this one is in the color tan, which of course you can't see. So let's try that. It's a little bit on the dark side for me. So if I use this one, I kind of have to do a little bit more highlighting on top of it because I feel like it's a little bit dark, so it doesn't give you the brightness that I would like. But I do also have it in medium, so I will try that one too. So on one side I'll do the tan, and on the other side I will do the medium. And I have a mirror down here in front of me, and that should help to keep me straight. So there we go. Like I said, this is the tan one. So I'm just going to grab a brush. This is like an Echo Tools inexpensive brush. I'm just going to spread out the product because there's a lot of product and it's very, very pigmented. But the good thing about this one is that it already has like an orangey kind of peachy tone to it. So it does a really great job. It does a really great job of giving you the coverage you need. Now this is all done with no extra color correction underneath. Okay, so I'm liking that coverage. Now, if I was to use the medium on the other side, it would actually look super, super ashy because I have, like we can see, I have the dark under eye area here, and if you can notice this area on the bone of my nose here and in the socket area down here, I have a bit more of a brown tone. So I do need color correcting if I was to use the lighter one. What you do when you're doing color correction, if that's what you plan to do, is to take it on a fluffy brush rather than a flat brush, which I'll show you. So instead of using something that looks like this to conceal with, use something that's a little bit more fluffy. Now it could be something like this one. You could even use, like there's one from Real Techniques, this one. Anything that's got a bit more fluff to it will probably work out better for you. So again, this is the erase paste. Now I really hope they haven't discontinued this because honestly, I feel like with Benefit Cosmetics, I fall in love with a product and it instantly disappears. So hopefully they still make this one. So I'm going to put this on. So again, I'm looking down in my mirror, okay? So I'm placing it specifically on the areas that it's needed. So I'm placing it right in that area I showed you where I have darkness. Now, if you want, you can use your ring finger, or you can use your middle finger if you need a little bit more pressure, and you can just press that in. So you're concentrating the product only where you are actually super dark. Otherwise, you don't need to put it in the areas that you're not. So all I'm doing is just kind of spreading it thinly into this area, but I'm not actually applying new product there. So now on camera I can see, I'm not sure why my camera is doing that. What the heck? Okay, I had to pause the video there because something started happening to my camera. So if you're a little bit closer now, it's because I moved the camera. Anyways, as I was saying, now I'm keeping it concentrated just in the areas where it's needed. So now I have to take a concealer and cover it up. Now, I don't know about you, but the less steps the better, I find. So personally, I would like to just use something quickly and get out the door. So now here's the medium. Again, this is the Tarte. Oh, I can't seem to figure out camera angles yet. I'll get it, guys, I swear. I'll figure it out eventually. But anyways, here it is. This is the Tarte Shape Tape, and this one is the lighter one, so this is medium. So I'm going to place this right on top of what I did with the color corrector. So I'm going to take it up a little bit on my nose because I have that darkness there. I have a little bit of darkness here. And then we'll place this. Now I'll see if I can get this brush instead. I'll get a clean brush. So I'm going to use the Real Techniques one. And you can see that that gives like the brighter highlighted effect. Kind of push this into my skin a bit and pull up the excess. If there's too much product anywhere, it'll kind of pull it up for me. And this is one way you can help avoid using too much product on your face and having like cake face going on. Nothing wrong with cake face, so you can have cake face if you like. So there we go. So you can see like this one's like a lot brighter because I used medium instead of this one, which is tan. So you see how this has a bit of a deeper touch to it, and this one's a little brighter. And now for the most part you can see that the color corrector did do its job, but then you had to do 2 steps instead of 1. This is actually a very important step. What you need to do when you've done all this concealing, correcting underneath, you have to set everything. Now, one of the ways I do it is to use, okay, just warning you, I'm a makeup artist, so I have everything in bulk. So I have the super large version of RCMA, and this is the no color powder. What I'll do is just get some of the RCMA. And because this is a no color powder, it's actually translucent. So once it's applied, it kind of picks up the undertone of whatever it is you have on. It doesn't actually adjust the color of your makeup. So if you prefer to have whatever, you know, your cream colors that you've applied, your foundation, your concealer, you're happy with that color and you don't want it to change, this is the better way to do it. If you actually do want to adjust your color and say like this side for me was it this side? No, this side for me was a little bit darker with the tan. So what I'll do is maybe with this one, I'll brighten it up and I'll show you that after. But right now I'm going to set the lighter one that we did. So what I'm doing is just adding the RCMA to a sponge, and I'm going to apply that. And then you're going to press it in, and your makeup will be set. And you see how it did brighten, but after a few minutes, this will, I'm actually just going to apply some to my eyelid too, because I'm just super oily. So, but you see how that looks really quite nice now. It's set. I feel nice and bright. But if you look carefully, it's actually kind of melting into my skin and absorbing the oil from the product as well as from my skin. So I'm just applying this all over. I had to check in the mirror as well as on the screen that I have over there on my monitor, because it looks different in both. And if you ever have filmed on camera before, your left and right gets totally messed up. So I apologize if I keep looking back and forth, but I want to make sure I'm not like messing up for you. Okay, so that is my face done. This half of my face has now been set with RCMA, and I actually quite like that, so I'll go with that. Now the other side with my compacts instead. So I have two here. I have the Makeup Forever Duo Matte, and this is their, I think their older packaging, because I've had this one for a while now. So there's that one, and I am sorry I don't know what color it is because I totally wiped off the back. And then I also have the Cover Effects, and this one is Pressed Mineral Foundation, and this is in the color G30. They have so many colors that for sure you'll find your color. I'm gonna get a brush like this so that I can pack on my powder, and I'm gonna go with the Cover Effects one first, and that's again in the G30. Now we're going to set the side that's the opposite side. So over here you can see like this side's nice and matte now, and this side I still have a lot of shine. And I kind of want to brighten it because I had the tan Shape Tape. So now I'm going to put this and totally brighten up the other side. And I'm actually picking up quite a bit of product here. Speaking of cake face, I'm going to pick up quite a bit and press it into this area, and you see that like now it looks nice and airbrushed and pretty flawless, I'd say. I'm just going to sweep a little bit across my lid because that'll help with the oils and kind of blending it all together. And I actually take it up the side of my nose like this to do a little bit of contouring, sort of. And taking a little bit on my forehead, a little bit on the chin. Put a little bit on my upper lip here. But see that now? Like you can see the brightness on the under eye. So now I think they're almost on balance now. So there's not a huge difference now between the two of them. There's different methods to do things, and those are basically the methods that you can try. There's lots of other things that you can try, but for people who are like myself and like need the coverage for under eye circles and stuff like that. This will really help. And the same method works for dark blemishes. Like you can see they're kind of peeking through. I have one here, a couple here. There's like various marks on my face that I will attend, but I'll attend to them in a second. But for the under eye area, this is probably the best bet for you. Now, like I said, you can color correct and you can do a lighter concealer on top, and that works really well. Or you can just go ahead and use a really pigmented concealer, and that will also do it. Just remember, if you're going to use, so I'll show you these again. If you're going to use a concealer only, make sure that whatever concealer you choose is basically matching perfectly with your skin tone, not so much one that is a lot lighter and brighter, because if you use one that's too light and you put it on top of your dark under eye circles and there's a lot of brown showing through, especially darker brown like myself, then it's just going to look ashy and gray. So what you want to do is have a little bit more of an orangey tone to it. So like in my case, for me, the orangey one was this tan, which didn't give me the brightness under my eye that I was hoping for, but it did conceal really well. So what you do in that case is you use your powder that you're going to set with on top as a brighter tone. So like I said, the RCMA one, or you take the Cover FX or MAC or any of those pressed powders and just kind of pack that on top, and that'll brighten your under eye area for you. So nothing is really like, you know, set in stone. There's different ways to do things. You can figure it out, kind of play with the makeup and figure it out for yourselves, but at least you now know that you don't necessarily have to use a color corrector in order to have your under eyes area like nice and bright, and for your blemishes as well. You can use something that is just a concealer in the right tone, and that will work just as well for you. I hope that was helpful for you to find out what kinds of color correctors I use and what kinds of concealers I usually use. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video as much as you can so we can help all our fellow friends who have the same issue with dark under eye circles and blemishes and need to cover them up. So please make sure, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.